This program is brought to you by Simulus Clothing, official title sponsors of Formula Virtual Racing. But wait, there's more. Check out the official Formula Virtual Racing merchandise line out now exclusively to Simulus Clothing. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the program. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be, ladies and gentlemen. We are here, and it is the return of Formula Virtual Racing to Canada. We are here in Montreal at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, right in the man-made island in the middle of Montreal. This should be a fabulous race this evening. We have returned to Canada. There'll be lots of pancakes with maple syrup enjoyed by the paddock after this evening's race, unless your name's Adrian Tishy, who probably hates my Canadian stereotypes. But we have a star-studded lineup of 20 drivers here for you this evening, ladies and gentlemen, and we have a star-studded lineup in the commentary box. The man is back. It's been a while since he's been here. But Brendan has decided that he wants an evening off. Well, he has been working all day, but he wants an evening off, and he's here for Formula Virtual Racing. Brendan, how are you doing? It's good to have you back.
Yeah, it's good to be back. I'm doing well. For once, I'm actually around for this, so it's good to get back to something that I have been doing on Saturday nights, usually for probably 3 years.
Yeah, it's probably been too long, really, to be fair, but it's great to have Brendan back with us. And we also have a new addition. You may have noticed that we had a beautiful Dutch dialect on the broadcasts a lot lately, starting from Silverstone. So we decided that with Brendan returning, we couldn't just boot him to the sideline. So please welcome our first ever pit lane reporter, Mr. Kyle Davison. How are you doing, Kyle?
Hello. Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm inside the pit lane currently. Just met Justin Trudeau. He's a real nice guy. Yeah. Weird setup this. 3 commentators now, 20 drivers. It's a stacked race, and I can't wait to see everything unfolding all right here.
Yeah, thank you very much, Kyle. We'll be cutting to Kyle for qualifying and the race. Last week, you had just me. Now there's 3 of us here, so it goes to show that we're all over the place here for the Virtual Racing. But nonetheless, qualifying is underway, and we have 15 minutes to go as we see Jonathan Jurgensmeyer heading through the final chicane and hitting the Quebec wall, otherwise, or more famously, I should say, known as the Wall of Champions. But we are still awaiting our first time on the board. Tim and Hire are not going to be able to set that either. There's going to be a lot of invalidations here today. I can almost guarantee that. But anyways, it is a man whose name was butchered for 4 hours of Le Mans. It is Macaulay Beard who goes to second position. He's beaten by Wangfei Anderson, and the Canadian cheers erupt for Adrian Tishy, who has gone to third spot. But, yeah, himself is back. Here's legend, 109.8 on the board. That's going to be beaten throughout this day because Jack Redmond gets awful close to it, heading in towards turn number 1. There's the Mercedes of Avesta Gobadi, smashes that lap from Rosenberg. 109.437, an excellent attempt there. Luke Davies, 0.8 of a second off. I wouldn't necessarily say that was Luke's best lap. Here comes Leroy Vinchendel. He's driving with a new Fanatec load cell pedal on his sim rig, so he might be a little bit off the pace here this evening, but it's going to be an improvement in the overall running for Leroy Vinchendel. There goes Tyler Davison up to 4th, 0.4 of a second off that lap from Avesta. That's an absolute barnstormer to open the session here for Avesta Gobadi. He is well at the top.
Yeah, Avesta Gobadi has set the pace immediately. And I have to say, this grid is the nice mix of old, new, and been here for a while, but not old. Because let's face it, even if Luke has been here since season 4, I refuse to call him old.
I was waiting on that one. Philip Engel goes to 5th. We actually have 2 debutants tonight. We have, of course, Macaulay Beard, or Malaki Beard, as Evan said a few months ago. And then we have Philip Engel, who is in the Aston Martin for this evening. Borbune goes to 12th, not really representative time for him. Timden higher as well. There's a bit of traffic heading down the back straight. We see Liam Houseman is slipstreaming a couple of cars here. Of course, we have the updated Ferrari still, which is good to see. In the old Ferrari livery, Houseman doesn't get blocked by his teammate. It was his teammate Obadi who was towing him. Houseman clips the wall of champions, which unfortunately is true for Liam, because he is an FVR champion. As much as we do like to talk badly about him, he is actually a champion in this organisation, which is a scary fact and shows that you can do anything in life if you really want to.
Indeed. You have seen Liam Houseman does have a championship from this organisation. And mind you, so does Luke Davies, but to be fair, that one was fully deserved.
Yeah, Luke did actually earn his. So did Liam, to be fair, but FVRA was a special time, and a time I do thoroughly miss, because anyone could really do anything. I was a successful driver there for a bit, and Maurice Stumer's not going to be a successful driver, hitting the corners like that. The AlphaTauri goes off, heading through turn number 9, reminiscent of the Canada incident. You are absolutely cultured if you know what the Canada incident is. It's a TikTok thing that was created by a ghastly fan page, and yeah, the Canada incident. Need I say more? In terms of times, though, on the board, we are still waiting for a few. No time from Jurgen's Mayor, Enzo King. We won't be seeing one from Enzo King. He received a qualifying suspension for an opening second incident, pretty much, with Tim DeHire last week in Bahrain. But in terms of your championship standings coming into this one, they're on your screen now. It is, of course, Legend Rosenberg who is at the top, but it's actually Tyler Davison who's in second on 26. Luke Davies in third with 18. Then it's Con Dulger in fourth on 16. Or, apologies, also on 18. And Jack Redmond on 18. Although he's not on the standings, Thomas Main also stands on 18 points. He is a reserve, so he's not placed in the standings, but might be at a later point. Here comes Tim Den Hire into the corner. We saw Stumer face the wrong way. Don't think Den Hire was on a push lap. No, he absolutely isn't. But Kyle, Legend, not quickest here at the earliest stages. Is that just going to be a bit of a mistake for Legend? Or sorry, apologies, is that a pace thing for Legend? Or maybe he just made a mistake on that lap?
Well, it's a very interesting question, actually, because 3.5 tenths, even more than 3.5 tenths, is quite the difference between him and Avesta. Avesta has had a good lap here, there's no doubt about that, but Legend seems to have made some sort of a mistake, because usually these guys are closer, and surely on a track like this, where there is small margins between everyone, this is quite a big margin. So yes, I would say there has been some sort of a mistake, and Legend will be looking to make it, to rectify that mistake.
Thank you very much, Kyle. We'll be back to you in a few moments, of course, but here comes Legend entering in towards turn number 8 and 9. There's not a lot of corner names on this Canadian Grand Prix circuit, but there is one for the turn 10 hairpin, Lepingle, which he is coming up, not to be confused with popular Chris Brand Pringles. Legend has actually invalidated this run. He was 0.4 of a second up, but it's gone down the drain because he stepped over the mark, and he has invalidated that lap. Jack Redmond heading down towards the turn 10 hairpin. Got to avoid some traffic there on the right-hand side, but that's all been cleared out. There was no traffic there. I'm hallucinating, clearly. But down towards then the Casino Straight, or the French variation, is the Droit du Casino. I'm sure that's wrong. And Adrian Tishy can correct me after the stream if he does watch this back. Jack will be into the pit lane. Jack is fairly confident about his pace here in Canada. Of course, we've not been here since Season 4, but in terms of FVR, there was actually one title wrapped up here. Sam Davis, a brother of the man in the commentary box, actually won his driver's title here in Canada, and Red Bull, the constructors. Here comes Davies across the line, front row of the grid by Luke Davies. Very good lap indeed. He's still a bit of a stretch off of Estegobadi, but he's put himself ahead of the mighty Legend Rosenberg. Let's take a look at Davison then heading in towards the middle sector. The AlphaTauri second in the championship, on a bit of a good run here, and he is purple in the first sector, 19.5.
Yeah, interesting what Davison could do here. He is noted for his ability as an AlphaTauri, whoever usually their realistic performance and not equal, which is, mind you, is actually much more confusing. You see in the hairpin, too bad. Get a decent exit. See where this sector is at the moment. You're looking at a slight improvement coming down towards the last chicane. So easy to invalidate, so easy to just misjudge. This has been judged fairly nicely, but will it result in a time difference here? It will. And it's not for a second.
It's a very good lap there by Davison. Usually, or apologies, I say, it quite regularly they are all off the guy at the top, but usually it's not Gobadi who's the guy clear at the top. He's invalidating his next best effort, so he's not going to set a lap on that occasion. Here comes Philip Engo heading down towards the Quebec chicane near the Wall of Champions. Let's see what he can do. The Aston Martin flicks it in here left and right. We have had a debut winner here on track. Before. It was Felix Kotal, who was a debut winner here in Canada, but unfortunately had the win stripped away from him due to a post-race penalty, or he might have got the penalty on track, but certainly he crossed the line on first, but unfortunately didn't get given the race win. We have Nathan Marriott as well in 8. Is that 3 debuts, potentially? I cannot remember for the life of me if Nathan has raced before. So it could well be 3 debuts, which has got to be a record of some sort, maybe since the Season 1, Season 2 days. And we also need to keep an eye on Leroy Vinchendel as well, as he's heading down towards turn number 8 and 9. Remember, Vinchendel is on new equipment here this evening, so he may be struggling a tad. Just a tad, not too much. And we will wait and see. As that's Nils Hartl. 5-place grid penalty for a collision with Luke Davies and Borbune. 5-place grid penalty for a collision with Tyler Davison. I'm not too sure what's happened there, because they're all in the pit lane. Luke is out on track, actually. Luke is out on track.
Yeah, even then, it is a little... I would say.
Apologies, man, you're breaking up a bit there. I'm not sure what's happened. But we will see as Legend has actually invalidated his next effort as well. Kyle, I know I was talking to you about this earlier, but this is sort of inhumane for a driver of Legend's caliber.
It is. There's multiple inhumane facts about this race I just wanted to read you out about.
Okay, hit us.
Avesta is still in the lead. Oh, and there is some crasher here. Wong Fi has crashed out of the session. He's gone.
No, he's
left.
He's left. He's still
Never mind.
here.
That's my bad. I'm sorry. I was about to say, though, Avesta Gobadi's still in the top lead there by 3/10. And you notice now that Tyler Davidson and Luke Davies also can't catch up. So I'm beginning to think that this is a genuine lap and no one else can beat it. Legend at the moment, he's having a rough day. Couldn't join earlier, had complaints about his day already. And it's looking like his day is getting even worse.
Well, Legend certainly enjoyed the M&M event in Fortnite earlier. Maybe it's the adult gods striking him for his participation in that, but no. Kandolga goes to 12th. He's 1.3 off Gobadi's pole lap. That is a genuine contender for domination, that Avesta lap, though, as we see Legend's first sector. He is a 10th of a second up. Rosenberg has bitten the unlucky bullet so far here today, but he's looking to try and claw back in on that pole lap from Avesta Gobadi. If anyone can do it, Legend can do it. He's not the all-time pole scorer here in FVR. That is Lewis McWilliam. He's the all-time wins, and he's here this season to take back his crown as the all-time champion. Purple Sector 2 for Rosenberg. He is up enough to beat that lap from Gobadi. That was a little bit slow heading through Lebingle, and he's going to have to be very careful towards the final chicane of 13 and 14 here on the 4.361 kilometre circuit down towards this chicane. How does Rosenberg take it? And no. Into the pit lane. Legend doesn't complete the lap. That could come back to haunt him a little bit, Brendan.
I think he's gambling the fact that with fresh tyres, what he will do with them will be better than anything he would have done here. Or he's confident enough that at least his race pace would allow him to come back through the field if necessary, and he can take this gamble.
Well, he's not been off pole or off a race win in the 2 races this season. Of course, we had a double header that William Shakespeare would be proud of, or young Hamlet in the 2Bs, Bahrain and Britain. You can tell I'm studying Leaving place. But Gobadi is out early. He wants to get his lap on the board here. I haven't seen any reports of the weather that we are expected for the race, as I believe Kyle is going, or Kyle has, the reason for why Legends got into the pit lane. Kyle.
I don't have the full reason, but I do have to speculate here and say that track evolution is a big factor in this circuit. Small circuit, fast corners, so a warmer track definitely proves you a better time. And you could see earlier Legend was in Sector 2 being up by 3.5 tenths there, so it is definitely possible to catch the time of Vestergaard. And I think he just simply went in because track evolution makes your car go even faster, making a sure pole position even highly likelier.
Thank you very much, Kyle. Appreciate that. Some good knowledge there from Kyle. He sounds like on the NBA game, Brendan, when you go down, it's like, we're going to go down to our all-star, David Aldridge or whatever. I don't know. Random reference. Anyways, Here we go. Vestergaard has got to find time, because as we know now, Legend Rosenberg has it in him to try and beat this lap. But here we go, then in towards the middle sector, getting right up and personal with the wall is Gobadi. What's this first sector like? He is up. The Ukrainian has found time here in the middle, in the first sector. Middle sector now, very tricky traction zone, that one, at a turn 6 and 7. But there is potential here for a No, he's backed off. And he's taken the Rosenberg approach and backing off here, but he's used up a bit of tyres. The thing with Legend was he went into the pits and got more on him. Vesta and Gobadi may be playing a bit of silly beggars here and not just putting the lap on the board when they can do it. One man who is on the lap, though, out of a few, this is, of course, Macaulay Beard, who struggles out at turn number 6 and 7. Huge slide through there. And is he going to back off this lap now? No, still pushing solid in towards the right and left of 8 and 9. And all right up to the Amazon sponsorship. Now he's going to back off that lap. There could potentially be some car damage there for the Alfa Romeo. We'll wait and see, however, how this plays out in the final minute and 30. This is getting close at the front. It's getting close in the middle of the pack, and certainly this should be an exciting conclusion to an exciting qualifying on our return to the Canadian Grand Prix here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Rosenberg, middle sector, or first sector I should say. We're going to stay on board here as he heads through turn 3 and 4 and down towards the middle sector. This is where we saw Gobadi back out at his lap, and whoa, Rosenberg finding the time. He's improving by 2.5 tenths of a second plus in that first sector. If he can repeat that in the second and third, he will take his crown back as the man to beat here this season. Very cautious in towards the chicane, maybe struggling a little bit through there. Didn't ride the curbs as much as we've seen some other drivers do, but that could be personal preference. Purple middle sector, finding massive amounts of time, 0.442. What we're going to have to see here, though, is what can Gobadi do in response. Rosenberg, with the most difficult corners on the circuit by some standards here to go. What can the Dutchman do? It's going to be right and left and avoid the wall on the right hand side. Nails it through there, doesn't invalidate, pulls along the right hand side. This is going to go quickest, but by how much? It's by minuscule margins, and Gobadi initially has found a bit of a response here. If he can push through this final corner, he's got it nailed down. Can Gobadi beat the Rosenberg streak? He absolutely can. It's pole position for the Ukrainian provisionally. Redmond not on a push lap. Davison not improving. Luke Davies has found a 10th here in the middle sector. Gonna fly it in towards the left and right. They're all extremely cautious, maybe feeling the pressure. Houseman goes 9th. Davies goes 4th. Beats Tyler Davison. But Davison still gonna try and put something on the board.
Davison has found time, but he'll need to find more of it. So this last corner is going to be everything here. Down, and that's very, very good here, I'd have to say. Right, he got the line right, and it's, well, stuck back forward.
Yeah, he's beaten Luke Davies quite crucially, a man who he'd probably like to beat. Here come the two Ferraris. They're slipstreaming each other, but they both of them validated laps, so that's just a very Ferrari thing here to do. But that's going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. Legend is maybe not as invincible as we once thought. Vestergaard is on pole for the Canadian Grand Prix. But one name I want to point out, Jack Redmond, after a strong qualifying in Bahrain, starts on the second row here in Montreal. Kyle seemingly has or knows why Legend did not take pole here today. Kyle.
He backed out. He simply backed out of his lap in the second sector. That I don't know how you call it, the fast S there. He went way too carefully through there, and he lost way more than half a tenth there. And I think that's the reason why he lost pole today, because he had it in him.
So maybe wants the inside line into turn 1 potentially, but we will have to wait and see. It is Avesta Gobadi and Legend Rosenberg who stand on the front row here for the Canadian Grand Prix. Folks, we don't have a formation lap anymore, so we have to cut to commercial a little bit earlier. We'll be back after a short commercial break. This program is brought to you by Simulus Clothing, official title sponsors of Formula Virtual Racing. But wait, there's more. Check out the official Formula Virtual Racing merchandise line out now exclusively to Simulus Clothing. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the program. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve here in Montreal, Canada. We had a dramatic qualifying across the board here, and certainly it should be a good race. Hopefully it's not as long as 2011 was, 4 hours, 4 minutes, the longest race in Formula 1 history. Longest race in FVR was probably an endurance event that we did. But we're getting ready to go here in Montreal. We are on the grid. It's Gobadi on the inside, Rosenberg on the outside. And for the first time since Season 4, we go racing here in Canada. Great launch by Davison on the second row. He's going to be looking for the outside. Gobadi defends the inside in towards the first corner. Jack Redmond's got one up on the inside of the AlphaTauri, and there's actually already a car gone round in the background. Liam Houseman has been rotated round, and he is spun to the back of the grid, as has Leroy Vinchendel. It's not a good race start for our Dutch representees here in the mid-pack, but our other one, Rosenberg, still treading the needle, trying to get past Avesta Gobadi. Tyler Davison up one spot, Redmond down one, but still in fourth, now defending from Luke Davies. Davies maybe going to try and work this one up the inside. Cam Dolga's got a flyer of a start. He's up 4 spots as well, as has Nils Hartl, up 6, but he's actually been passed by Morris Stumer there in the background, and these two were side by side for a little bit on the straight, not so much now. There's your possible race strategies on the bottom, the 2-stop, the preferred strategy by the drivers, it seems here, and we can see a lot of medium tyre runners so far in the grid. Huge lock-up by most there in towards the turn 10 hairpin. You can see Timothy Hire making some moves. He's the only man in the grid on the soft compound tyres, most on the mediums, and then hards for King, Bune, and Liam Houseman. But down towards the chicane, Davies gets past Redmond. Redmond maybe just not getting the best of race starts, not lighting up those medium tyres as quick as most. But Davies, bit of a mistake, heading in towards the Quebec chicane and in towards the Quebec wall. Gobadi, fastest lap of the race, as per expected. But a great race start. Kyle, did you know that is anything that we didn't quite catch?
Yeah, Liam, well, no, we did catch it, but Liam dropped a lot of positions here, and Ferrari of Sauberdrasche did too. Bad qualification for both Ferrari drivers, but he still dropped a lot of position there, back to P20.
Kyle will be filling in as co-commentator for a few minutes just while Brendan gets a technical issue or two sorted. So we will have the Kyle Davis graphic back up soon, but Kyle will be speaking a lot more, and then he'll be back to his pit reporter duties. Jurgen's Mare, 0.3 of a second of Morris Stumer. Alpine not having a great start to this race. Alpine having a relatively mediocre start to this season in general. They are, of course, 9th in the Constructors' standings, but it's not the be-all and end-all. We still have 10 races, including this one, to go, so there is still plenty of time for a catch-up job, but we will wait and see. Vesta Finesta, as Lewis McWilliams says in the stream chat, Ferrari driver for this season. We'll see for how much longer, but Ferrari driver for now, certainly. Gobadi is under pressure from Legend Rosenberg, and he's not an easy man to keep behind, as you can see. 1:12.401, quickest lap of the race for Legend Rosenberg. That's actually 0.6 of a second quicker than the official lap record here, set by Valtteri Bottas in the 2019 Canadian Grand Prix. But Rosenberg and Avesta, if Rosenberg doesn't manage to get past here in the initial stages, Kyle, is an undercut or overcut maybe the best strategy here for him?
I'm guessing the undercut here, with the eye on a possible late safety car. Of course, it's a tricky track, you know. It could be anything here. We haven't actually visited this track in a long time as well, so I'm just gonna guess it on the undercut. Also, a notable thing, which makes it more push me to the side of an undercut, is that Legend's braking way later than Avesta does. If you look at the rear view mirror, or even now, you can see Legend catching up quite easily in these braking zones, meaning he's using these tires a lot more than Avesta is, so I think he will go for the undercut.
Okay, so an undercut the attempt maybe here for Legend Rosenberg, braking later into the corners. We could clearly see that in towards the chicane, but Rosenberg not really keeping up with Avesta on the straights, and I would say it's because Rosenberg's not using his ERS, but Avesta isn't really either. There still is a very feasible amount to manage at the start of this race. Bit of a battle here in the background. This is Can Dolger and Niels Hartl. Hartl getting past in towards the chicane, but Dolger feisty all over the back of the Ferrari. We saw Hartl fighting with Tushy in Bahrain. Here comes the Turkishman trying it up the inside. No, not able to work there. And that's going to be Kandolga who stays behind for the time being. That 35 laps here, but we're going to cut through them very quickly. Walls very close here, but no one actually hitting them here in the opening stages. Julius Gassner is 3.9 seconds behind, however, so there's obviously been some sort of incident for him that we will have to keep an eye on. But nonetheless, it is still a great race start here in Canada. And for the first time this season, really, a battle for the win is certainly on.
There is, definitely, and the battle's still going on. But there's a battle for every position at the moment. You can see loads of DRS trains being formed as well. It's not just the lead that is fighting for a position here. It is these 4 or 3 trains that Legend goes to the move.
Legend Rosenberg up the inside takes the race lead here in Montreal. Oh, apologies, we cut to Julius Gassner there for a second, but Legend Rosenberg leads here at the Canadian Grand Prix. Is Gobani going to try working up the inside? No. Managing his battery and sitting behind Avesta is more than happy to let Rosenberg lead this race. There's sort of an element of confidence here for Avesta Gobani that we've not really seen anyone come into a race this season with. Usually when you see Legend on the grid, it's sort of a, oh god, it's Legend Rosenberg, but Gobani is competent here in this one. He is confident that he can maybe deliver an unexpected result for Mercedes.
He definitely is, and you can clearly see that both drivers are actually driving with their brains and not with their... I'm not going to say that on stream, but you know what I mean. You can clearly see these drivers actually thinking about what's happening next. You can see Legend here saving up a bit of tires, but moving past him when the DRS zones are far away. And Avesta Gobadi actually being okay with being in second and not being too... Oh, shoot, that is a big lockup by Legend there, as I was talking about Avesta Gobadi being okay with being in P2 there and just waiting it out. Really, these drivers are driving with their brains, which is a big compliment to them.
And we still have a full DRS train all the way back to Philip Engel, who is in 7th position. The Aston Martin is driving a great race for his debut, to be fair. He's gapped Wong Fei Anderson, who is in 8th spot. Wong Fei, of course, the Season 10 Safety Award winner. Apologies. Season 10 Rookie of the Season. My bad. Not Safety Award winner. Oh, no. He was Safety Award winner. Can Dolger was the Rookie of the Season winner. I picked the winners. I should know this. But we can see... apologies for that notification on your screen. That's PSGL notification. Why is it? It's Saturday evening. But nonetheless, Legend Rosenberg is doing a good job here. But Gobadi's still sticking with him. What? Oh, Gobadi. Huge slide through there. Avesta can't have moments like that too often, because that's where the door opens for Rosenberg, and that's where Legend is able to pull away pretty much. And you can see Luke Davies has fallen out of DRS for a second. He's burning his battery to get back within. Although if you do look at the batteries here, Tyler and Luke are both struggling to keep up with Legend and Avesta.
Definitely. They are struggling, and these guys are, of course, it's Saturday evening for me too. On another level. Yellow flags in Sector 2. That is probably... Oh, that's the Ferrari of Sauberdrasche again. That is a horrendous start of their season. I have not seen them in the points. Have they even scored a point is the next question I was going to ask.
They have scored 2 points. They are 8 off 9th in the championship, but only 2 points. That came in Brazil. It's not a great start of the season. You're absolutely correct in what you're saying, Kyle. And Ferrari are going to want to pick up the pieces here a little bit more if they want to try and win something. Lewis McWilliam watching, saying that he's plenty of time to win, as in, is this problems for our home hero? Adrian Tichy is losing places, and now Van Schendel is on the inside. Van Schendel, of course, is down the grid because he is racing with new pedals, and that's Hartl. Oh, it gets worse for the Scuderia, and the safety car has been brought out. Hartl has clattered the wall heading through turn number 3 and 4, and that is Nils Hartl out of the Canadian Grand Prix. Ferrari have a car in the wall and parked, and they have 21 seconds adrift of the field. The Tifosi are crying into their tagliatelle here this evening. The Italians are not happy. The Italian outfit are having a shocker so far here in Montreal.
Yep, they definitely have a shocker now. It's a 1-2, but it's a reverse one. It's the usual Spider GT story happening on F1 at the moment, as all these drivers are now going to have to consider, do I pit early or do I not pit at all? Anyway, what we're currently also watching is a battle between Liam House and Jonathan Jurgensmeyer. Those guys were battling it out quite closely. Right now, obviously, the race has been neutralized as, oh my god, Enzo.
And Liam House.
Everyone. Yep, that is a harsh penalty. That's a race-ending penalty, I would say. But yeah, I was talking about these battles in the midfield. You can notice Liam House, he qualified P7, I believe, and he's now struggling in P16 as well.
Typical Spider GT story, as Kyle would say.
All right, thank you.
Kyle, you can join the lobby now because Nils Hartl has left. Kyle has been on share play, as you can see in the top right, with me, because of course we have 3 commentators. Well, we've 2 and a pit lane reporter. Hopefully Brendan gets back with us soon. As yeah,
I'm a flexible pit reporter.
Yeah, Kyle just
the
ran
most
up the
flexible
stairs.
pit reporter.
We're in the commentary box, of course, facing turn number 2. Kyle was down in the pit lane. We are in the in the commentary box at the Virage Senna. Kyle ran upstairs, and yeah, he's joined us now. No, of course we're not, because it'd be very stupid if we were in the commentary box at the Circuit Shieldsville and the drivers weren't. It would be pretty silly. But nonetheless, back on the actual race here, we had 2 drivers into the pit lane on the safety car. Tyler Davison jumped in the pits for a set of softs, and Philip Engel jumped in for a set of the mediums. So, split strategy across the board here, it seems, and that's a really intriguing one that I look forward to seeing play out. Of course, none of the leaders can pit now to react to what Tyler's done, because it'd be too late. They'd fall behind him anyway, so they're all staying out for the long run on those mediums. Tyler, I was speaking to him before the race, that's Enzo King into the pit lane. Enzo, please tell me you haven't tried to serve your drive-through in the safety car. You cannot do that. I really hope he hasn't, because it's not going to work. No, he's actually gone back on a set of hards, so I really hope he hasn't tried to do that. I really do.
Maybe just a one-stop strategy here. I mean, it is lap 8, so it is. It's a. I mean, it's a bit of a. I love the optimism. It could be possible, but you will be on 100% wear, I reckon. Don't know what the strategy behind that is, going on hard so early. I really can't place that one. No, sorry.
Yeah, I don't really know either. And they're 7 lap old as well.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think he has tried to serve his drive-through. From one Kyle to another, FVR legend Kyle Albert. No, that wasn't a legend pun, by the way. FVR legend Kyle Albert sending in a message saying Kyle should be pit reporter more often. It's a nice touch to the broadcast. We love having Kyle here. Hopefully we've Brendan back with us soon. As Leroy, 5-second penalty, severe collision. with Can Dulger. Can has been a bit of a battering ram here, it seems, this evening, because Hartle was complaining about him as well. But safety car is going to be in this lap. We will wait and see, as Kyle actually has not got an invite. So before before the safety car comes in, we'll do that quickly.
I'm just banging on the walls outside the track right now to let me back in. I've been kicked out of the pit lane. Went to the commentary box and I'm just banging on the wall. Oh, there we go.
My apologies, Kyle WhatsApp me with Evan in the capital letters. I forgot to send an invite. But here we go then, ladies and gentlemen.
We're back.
It is the safety car restart. Going to be conducted by Legend Rosenberg, and he's done it now. We go racing. He's caught Avesta Gobadi napping, and Luke Davies is right on the tail of the Ukrainian. Is he able to capitalise heading through the chicane? No, he's not really. Luke has not had a good run on the safety car restart through the chicane. The two AlphaTauris go flying on the tail of Macaulay Beard in the background. Heading towards turn number 1 is Davison, able to lunge one up the inside. We've seen him go for some big moves so far this season. Was not able to go for one there, and that's actually Philip Engel, who has managed to get past Morris Stumer, and now Davison is going to pick up the pieces for AlphaTauri. He's able to get past Macaulay Beard. There's actually a yellow flag in towards turn number 1. Dare I say that's a Ferrari round? It is Julius Gassner who is round, as we see Houseman into the pit lane to serve his drive-through. Leroy Vinchendel into the pit lane for a fresh set of boots, as well as Adrian Tishy. So problems for Vinchendel and Tishy on the restart. Maybe some long-lasting damage there for them. Here comes Davison, sends one on the Swede of Wong Fee Anderson, and the AlphaTauri is up and through. Here comes Philip Engel, looking to get the job done on Macaulay Beard. It's the two rookies, the two debutants here in Canada, side by side in towards the turn 10 hairpin. Oh no, Macaulay Beard! Oh, he's broke way too late. Cleans Wong Fee Anderson absolutely out of it, and it's a horrible moment on what was looking like such a promising debut for Macaulay Beard. There's going to be some big stewards questions about that one come the end of the race. Poor Wong Fee Anderson was an innocent bystander, it seems, in that one, and Macaulay just broke way too late into the chicane. And it also gets even worse for Ferrari, because that is Julius Gassner who is into the wall. But gap at the front, 3/10. Gobadi's gone with Rosenberg. He's hot on his heels here.
He definitely is. He's trying everything he can, but he needs to get a grip on it right now. He is struggling a bit. Talking about struggling a bit, Matze, 3-second time penalty. Also talking about struggling a bit, the Ferrari driver who spun 2 times in 1 lap. I believe they're just watching a recipe about how many times you need to spin the tagliatelle before it's done, and he's just trying that for a race. Yellow flag, sector 2, and it's a safety car.
Oh, safety car. That's Stumer. That is Morris Stumer, who's had a problem. Oh, yes, completely parked it into the wall. Stumer was a bit of a... Oh, Morris, I would not risk that. This is how not to do a 3-point turn, ladies and gentlemen. No, Morris, reverse it fully out, and then... Okay, that was stressing me. I don't know why he didn't reverse further back. There was no one coming. But nonetheless, second safety car here in Montreal, and right on cue, I believe Brendan is back with us. Hello, Brendan.
Hello. Seems like I have missed a bit, yet not that much like once. Obviously, 2 safety cars is a chaotic, would point to chaos, but we only have 1 driver out, so I suppose it's not been that bad. Although we do some pit stops now, which is going to change the idea of the race. You normally think Canada would be looking at 2-stop or maybe a 1-stop, depending on what your preference is. But now with safety cars, are you going to go for is maybe try tire safe, or in this case go on to softs and then pit again later on in this race?
Well,
Definitely a hard question, I would say, right now, to what tire would you go on?
Luke Davies has brought brand new soft compound tires, whereas others are going for brand new mediums or brand new hards.
and the way this has worked is this is filtered nicely for those who pit under the first safety car. Tyler Davison is now leading this Grand Prix here in Canada, and it scares me to say that Tim Tyre's in second. No, Tim has driven a great race. 4-lap old mediums, now in second place. Borbune has not pit, he stayed out, so he's going for the one-stopper, it seems. Then it's Cam Dulger in fourth, Rosenberg now in fifth. Gobadi's kept with Rosenberg throughout this race. Of course, Rosenberg got past Avesta, I believe a lap before the first safety car came out, and then we didn't get much running on this one. But he's back as pit reporter. Kyle, how does this strategy go from here then? It is Tyler leading on softs, Tim on mediums, and then Legend and Avesta on hards. Is it a one pit stop left for each of them, or are Legend and Avesta going to go... Sorry, I'm just laughing at the notification came through. Someone just messaged asking, is there any seats in the league? Please don't do that. Do not. Over to Kyle. Kyle, tell us something.
I'm not about the places of where there are seats in the leagues, but I am going to talk about your strategy real quick. Yes, there are going to be more pit stops for the guys in the front. Softs for 5 that have age of 5 laps, and the mediums that are age of 5 laps. They might make it to the end, the mediums, but I doubt it. So yeah, those guys will definitely need to pit. Legend, however, he might go to the end here, but again, this is just a smart call by them, or a smart move by them, I should say, because sitting in the hards means you can race even longer. And on a track like this, which is at risk of a safety car at nearly all times, it is probably the best call right now to go on the hardest compound of tire to even gamble on another safety car, or just drive leanly and drive it out on the hards.
Thank you very much, Kyle. I love how I'm trying to make this as professional and experienced as possible for you guys at home, with the graphics voice of Kyle Davis, etc., etc., and then some guy messages asking, do I know of any leagues with seats in them? I don't even know who that person is. But nonetheless, safety car in this lap, and we can get back to some on-track action here at Gilles Villeneuve. We've had 2 safety cars, but we're still not at 2011 levels of delays, but we hopefully can have a good conclusion, or a good middle part and conclusion, of this race. A circuit that used to be called the Notre Dame circuit, named after the region, or the island that they are on. This is the Notre Dame man-made island, of course, was built for the Olympics, but we've got an extremely shuffled up order here in Canada, and it's going to be Tyler Davis, a multiple race winner here, who's got to get us underway, and we go racing once again. Remember, no overtaking until the start-finish line, so drivers got to be careful of that, but Davison's got an absolute monster of a launch over Timpton Higher, and we can see Liam Houseman picking up a 3 seconds. Of course, he has already served a drive-through once this race. Here comes Rosenberg, doesn't fish it up the inside of the Turkishman account. Dulger will stay in front of the triple world champion for another few corners, but no, Dulger's made a meal of it, and he's run wide, and now Gobadi is going to try it up the inside here, the Aston Martin. These is crucial moves for Gobadi and Rosenberg. If Gobadi wants any chance of winning this race, he's got to be within touching distance of Legend Rosenberg. Borbune lets his fellow Dutchman through. I imagine he's not going to fight Gobadi too much, because Borbune is on way older tyres, has not made a pit stop yet, and is on a complete alternate strategy to the rest of the field. Yes, Borbune pulls for an inside defensive line, but Gobadi does clear, and they are keeping nip and tuck. Now Borbune is his old teammate Luke Davies right behind him. What's Davies going to do to work his way round the next couple of corners and work his way round the Alpine? He's going to go for the outside in towards Lipingle, and he's got the job done here, and I'm not sure what that smoke is coming off, because it's happened every lap. I think it's Legend Rosenberg's Haas, but I'm not too sure it's an actual lock-up issue, because it's happened many a time here, as we can see. Can Dulger.
Well, Luke Davies, he's going to pull to the right, and he's got the move done on the Festival Paddy. These stops are working well, but for how long will they keep working well?
And now we're going to have Luke right on the back. That's Can Dulger. That's Can Dulger who's dropped down, and I'm not sure. There's a couple of cars across the chicane. It's Jack Redmond and Cam Dulger who have come into contact. That is a big blow for what was a very steady drive for both of them, actually, but more so Jack Redmond here in this race. Luke Davies, though, could now challenge Legend Rosenberg here in this one. Brendan, are we finally going to see Luke get a move done over Legend here in FVR?
Well, he's now got a championship, but you might... Maybe one or two people might think, was that championship a properly earned championship? This could be a move which you could just say, it's a way for Luke to say, yeah, that championship was well earned. And I'm able to prove it by passing the guy who's beaten me twice.
Look at this.
Timpton
Higher. Tim, you could have pulled the ultimate teammate card there. Tim has mutually accepted that he is Legend second driver this season, and I thought Tim was going to try something a bit promiscuous maybe and pack Luke Davies up into Avesta Gobadi again, but that's not worked out for the better, and now Timpton Higher is under pressure from a good friend Avesta Gobadi behind. Davison, 3-second lead up the front, and we can see here comes Gobadi trying the outside on Timpton Higher. The Mercedes going to try the long way around the outside through turn 1. No. Avesta's cut across turn 2 and has hit the side of the Haas.
I was not. That could have worked out a lot worse, but I'm not sure why he went for that. I think it would have been better off to just stop it, slow down the speed, and then maybe pile in right behind, because then at least you'd be with that pack still. Oh, we've got another yellow flag. That's a Ferrari.
Yes, that's Julius Gassner who's gone round. And not for the first time today, probably third or fourth, really, here in this race, which is very unfortunate for
Van Schendel
Gassner.
down the inside.
Oh, Van Stendel going way wide. And oh, there's actually an AlphaTauri in the wall. That's Stumer, who spun the same corner he did in qualifying. Had a complete tank slapper through there, and he has gone round. We saw Julius Gassner in the wall. Kyle has more for us.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like he has either some damage. I don't know if floor damage is enabled, or he has no setup at all. You can clearly see his steering inputs and his car not responding to them at all. Also, a notable thing is that Tyler currently on the softs at 9 laps old in the lead. His tires are dropping off massively. The legend has gained over 5 tenths in one sector.
Yeah, Tyler was saying before the race, thank you, Kyle, but Tyler was saying before the race that softs can do about 9 laps here. Me and Tyler actually did a career mode race here during the week, and yeah, it was about 9 laps with the softs, which is complete and utterly terrible, I'd say. So we could see Tyler come into the pits sooner rather than later. He started on the medium, so could opt for a set of hards from here to the end of the race if it was to play out like that, but that's not really the ideal strategy. Maybe instead of mediums you could push them, but I think it would still be a bit of a problem. Now, what does Tyler do here? Does Tyler just simply drive his own race, or could he maybe even think about backing Legend Rosenberg up into his fellow British driver Luke Davies? I know Tyler is not teammates with either. Oh, Gobadi going right round the outside of Tim Den Hire, heading onto the casino straight. That's a really nice move from Avesta Gobadi. He is now up and past Tim Den Hire finally. So Den Hire providing the teammate job for Legend. What's happened there?
I think Avesta came
Den Hire! Oh, sorry, thought he was round.
Well, Den Hire nearly was a victim of the Wall of Champions, which, if you wanted to believe in consequential actions, it would have nearly been a good thing. But, yeah, I think Avesta did come across a little bit, and that did unsettle Tim Den Hire, which he'll probably be a little bit annoyed about.
We see a 3-second time penalty for Tim Den Hire there. He's still in 5th in this race, which is not a bad job, but he does have the new debut driver, Philipp Engel, coming up right behind him. Philipp, one of many Germans now on the grid. We have Hartl out, we have Gassner in 19th and Stumer in 18th, so Philipp is picking up the scraps here of the German nation. Gap is now under 1 second between Rosenberg and between Tyler Davison. Zauber had wing damage and is now into the pit lane, so he is now down to 19th, one Ferrari out, one Ferrari 19th. Gassner getting a new front wing on, and honestly, he's running the risk of going a lap down, and he picks up a 3-second time penalty. Davison got to carry on here, and he's going to have to fend off from Rosenberg.
Yeah, it seems like Davison's at the end to his tether with these soft tyres, admittedly with safety car laps included. But Davies, he's going to be struggling a bit. He does seem to have decent straight line speed, because he was gaining on Legend even with low enough ERS. But maybe that's more because Legend isn't using his. Even then, it is decent, so he was just hoping to keep maybe just within the distance needed. He's fine for now, but he was very, very close to coming out with that 1 second.
Here comes Legend Rosenberg. He's trying it, a really audacious move, heading in towards turn number 8 and 9. That is a move and a risk that we do not usually see from Legend Rosenberg. But he's up and into the lead of this race. Maybe was feeling the pressure from Luke Davies a tad and thought if he doesn't go for something maybe a little bit on the sillier side, that Tyler, who is a very good racing driver from a racecraft perspective, maybe that he would have pulled out all the stops defending him, and that Legend just had to get it done when Tyler was not expecting it most. Is Tyler going to come into the pit lane on this lap? No, he's going to carry on, and he's just coasting these tyres round and saving them, as we can see Philipp Engel, who is actually Polish, apologies, not German, got that one completely wrong. He was side by side, as there's a yellow flag. Who is that one for?
I think that's a Ferrari.
Oh, it's Julius again.
Yeah.
As we see Nathan Marriott past and higher in towards turn number 1 and 2.
Yeah, not bad move from the Williams, I have to say. And I think Tyler is dropping off there a bit. Luke Davies probably will be trying to pass him enough because he does have a little bit more grip in them tires at this stage. I suspect Davison will probably be. I think he's just trying to get to a stage where the mediums become acceptable.
And of
Which,
course, remember, Tyler and Luke very close in the championship standings, as you can see on your screen. So these two are certainly racing for pride. Tyler and many of the drivers have accepted that whoever comes second in the championship is the people's champion, because they are assuming Legend will come first, which is certainly the most likely scenario considering how he started this season and how this race is playing out. Legend looked like he could have been under pressure at the start, but now he's driving a great drive. Luke Davies gets past the AlphaTauri. Tyler stays out, going to fight these tyres a little bit longer. I imagine both Davies and Tyler will go for the mediums. Here comes Gobadi. He's up and past Davison. Davison just a sitting duck, unfortunately, due to those soft tyres. Kyle, is it going to be a medium for Luke and Tyler the next pit stop?
Well, possibly yes, but what they also could do is actually, since they have already done 10 laps on the softs, it would be maybe even better to stick it out for these laps. They are still quite close to each other, so the draft is still there, the slipstream just a bit, and possibly the DRS. Well, the DRS is gone actually, but yeah, they could potentially just make it out to lap 25 and then just hop on the softs again, which would be the better call at this point.
At this point in the race, is a safety car needed for the two stoppers to be within a chance of the one? That is Houseman.
Yes. The two stoppers have a big problem here. Same for Liam Houseman, who's had an eventful race. He moved from 15th to 7th to 9th to 15th again. Also, a notable thing I want to mention is that
2
none
seconds,
of the
Kyle,
teams
as Avesta Gobadi has just passed Luke Davies in towards the chicane. Avesta now up to second. Sorry, Kyle, you can continue.
Yeah, no worries. None of the top 3 teams as of now, or actually now that there has been a pass, have the record of wins. There is a 3-way battle for the records of wins, and McLaren looks like the possible contender to win it right now. If Luke wins his race, McLaren sticks on tops with 20 league wins.
Surely, Brendan, at this point, though, it's between Legend and Avesta, because surely Luke and Tyler can't get back into this one with an extra pit stop, can they?
You need a lot to go their way. The best scenario for them now would be a safety car to come out. Maybe in 2 or 3 laps, they bolt on softs, and they happen to be in the scrap for the win. Now, mind you, they might need a situation where Legend and Vesta stay out, and the advantage comes to them, rather than having to try get into a dogfight and win said dogfight.
As here comes Luke. Oh no, I thought he was a lot closer to Avesta from that camera angle. Unfortunately for our home hero, Luke's teammate Adrian, he's not having the greatest of runs here at Canada. He's in 13th and probably due another pit stop. So points are not looking likely for the Canadian, as that's Nathan Marriott. Huge slide out of the chicane as we see Den Heyer now come into the pit lane for the first of the 2 stoppers. So Tim is in, and he's going to try and bring these second set of mediums to the end of this race. That's actually wide for, that is Macaulay Beard as Jurgen's mare. Now looking to get the move done, and Julius unfortunately picking up another penalty.
Yeah, it's not been the best races for Julius. I think it's going to be interesting here with Tim Den Heyer. What's his pace going to be like out of the blocks? Because this might be, if the mediums are very good out of the blocks, it might be something for Luke and Tyler to consider if they want to just go flat out. Obviously, I think they are planning on using the soft tyre, but the medium, if you just want to be pumping in laps without the worry of tyre wear, it might not be the best option, because sometimes you need to just have the right mindset rather than having to just try tiptoe with your softs from the get-go. I say actually that if both the McLaren and the AlphaTauri into the pit lane, we're going to get our answer to the questions.
As here, this is an unbelievable battle for 7th. This is between King, Jurgensmeyer, and Beard in towards the chicane. It's Jurg, King, and Beard. It's the way they come out of it, but Beard actually taps the Red Bull as the answer for the two pitters. It is the mediums for Luke and Tyler, but they're going to come out behind this battle, it seems. Of course, very short pit lane, about 18 seconds here at Canada. Beard going to try that long way around the outside, but it's not going to work out for Macaulay Beard, and he is going to have to sit behind. And now, look at this. Luke Davies comes out in front, or behind, Wongfie Anderson. Is there going to be a lunge into the chicane? No, Davies thinks the better of it. That's going to hold him up even more and put him closer to the hands of Tyler Davison. This is going to be a good fight between these two Brits come to the end of the race, as Borbune is actually disconnected from the session. Not the first time this season that's actually happened to Borbune, so hopefully he's able to get back in and get a few points on the board maybe for Alpine. But here we go, King fighting the other Alpine and not able to get the move done. Gap to the leader is 20.7 seconds between Luke and Legend. Kyle, from what you've been analysing this race, is it possible? Can Luke catch that?
Well, we're gonna have to see these couple of laps. I was about to actually write my notebook down and compare them every lap, but yes, it might be possible. Why, you ask? It's not because the difference between tires, it's the difference between the tire age. The hards that are 13 lap old hards are really old, and he's losing way more time than ever, as Macaulay Beard has done his pit entry wasn't that great. As long as his race is hopefully his race got better. Anyway, I was talking about the difference between the tires. The difference is now notably big. So yes, I think it is possible, but Luke needs to get a step on it right now to make sure that happens.
Hey, Kyle.
2 seconds a lap.
As that's actually Irvin Schendel. That's Van Schendel. Oh, safety car! Oh, this race has taken a twist. The safety car is out here in Montreal. Leroy Van Schendel. Sorry, Brendan.
I was about to say, this race would have needed effectively 2 seconds a lap difference between Luke and Legend to catch up if Legend wasn't going to stop again. But now, Legend has to stop. He will stop, and he's going to come out ahead. Because they've got a safety car pit stop. Luke and Tyler are going to be kicking themselves because now the likes of Philip get the first stop. Nathan Marriott does, Enzo King, Jan van Jurgensmeyer, Dennis Them, Wongfie Anderson, who admittedly was who didn't get to have the best attempt at the chicane last time round. Doesn't have to worry because now he gets the pit. Others are going to come round. Question now is, Luke, Legends went for the soft tyres.
And remember, we saw it was about lap 9 where they were going to fall off. Legend doesn't have to do 9 push laps on these, which is really interesting. But your order after that round of pit stops, Rosenberg leads the Canadian Grand Prix, Avesta in second, then it's the Luke Davies, Tyler Davison, then Philip Engel 5th on debut, as well as Nathan Marriott, then it is Tim DeHire, Enzo King, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, Wongfie Anderson, then it is Macaulay Beard, Adrian Tishy, Jack Redmond, Liam Houseman, Can Dulger, Leroy Van Schendel, Morris Stumer, Borbune, and then Julius Gassner, who is unfortunately 1 lap down. We'd once again like to remind you folks to subscribe to the Formula Virtual Racing YouTube channel if you're enjoying the action here. It's a pleasure to see those sticking with us throughout the races and throughout the various seasons. And we know it's not the most entertaining league at times, but we do thank you for sticking with us. Make sure to check out our title sponsors, Simulus Clothing. Kyle has something to say to us. Kyle.
Yes, strive to the hopes of those who were on a different strategy, Lightning Moon, of course, losing places, but also a strive to the hopes of those with penalties. Loads of penalties we have missed in this race. There is people with more than 10 seconds worth of penalties. That's one guy. That's Julius Gassner all the way in the back. But there is loads of penalties also in the midfield. Those guys will be having a hard time with this SC so late in the race.
Thank you, Kyle. We can see the penalties on stream now. It is 3 for Denhart, 3 for Jurg, 8 for Beard, 3 for Tishy, 3 for Houseman, 3 for Van Schendel, then it is 6 for Stumer, 3 for Bune, and 21 for Julius Gassner. Macaulay Beard into the pit lane. Let's see what tires he goes. It's going to be a set of mediums. He's actually serving his 5-second penalty, so that is scratched off his name. That's actually smart enough driving, as we can see the Ferrari of Julius Gassner looking to get himself unlapped. Best to look getting past Avesta and Legend. He's actually got past No, this isn't going to work out, really. I think Avesta is trying to let him through, mind you, but unfortunately, at a street circuit, it is quite difficult to go off the track.
Well, I suppose here you might be able to do it. Oh, Ferrari is.
I don't know what's going on anymore, to be honest. I have lost that conscience. But Avesta is surely Legend's biggest threat here, Brendan. But how is this going to play out?
But we've seen Avesta, when he gets it right, he really does get it right. The problem is, how far can Legend get up the road before he then gets the tyre drop off? And then we're going to see a Monaco 2019 situation where the fastest guy has got the softest compounded tyres, but he's got to make them last over a long enough distance.
You enjoyed saying that one, didn't you? Because it was Daniel Ricciardo.
I said 2019 actually, so.
Oh, apologies. I thought you said 18.
That was more an engine, I will say. Which, I remind you, winning at Monaco with 6 gears in the hybrid era, not bad. But here we go.
We go racing once again here in Canada. It is a great restart for Legend Rosenberg. Gobardi is 5/10 behind him, however. Gobardi has to keep within a second of Legend Rosenberg if he wants to win this race. Davison has Gassner in front. Gassner does have to obey blue flags here and let Davison through, otherwise he will get a penalty. But I imagine he'll spin around a couple of laps anyways, and that whole situation will be resolved. But we wait and see as Den Heyer not able to keep with Nathan Marriott. He's another man on the softs. And Davison's got to be careful of Philip Engel here. He's not been slow this race. Philip has been fairly quick and is on a set of soft compound tyres. So we'll wait and see. Up the front though, Rosenberg not necessarily leaping away in the distance. Avesta has genuinely good pace here in Canada.
Well, yeah, we did see that clearly. He got pole position.
Good point. As there is a spin, and I believe it was for Julius Gassner. Sorry, that's a commentator's curse.
Well, I was more a commentator's foresight more than anything, but yeah, it's weird. It is the reverse of the commentator's curse. Well, I suppose what happened is a curse. But yeah, Avesta, he's doing very well here. If he sticks like this, he should be getting past here realistically, because the tyres are going to come into his favour. Each passing lap which Legend fails to break away is a lap which is less, which Avesta needs to get past.
And that was actually the fastest lap of the race from Avesta Gobardi, so he is right close. They have dropped Luke Davies, so it's going to be between Davison and Davies here for the race, or for the final step of the podium, I should say. And then it's going to be Philip Engel and Nathan Marriott who are hunting them down. Yellow flag in the second sector. That is Julius Gassner, who is round and has broken his wing. And we're under safety car again. Okay, we are under safety car for the spin from Gassner. Surely track position is crucial here and there's no pit stops, Kyle.
Definitely not. Sorry there. I had some trouble finding my mute button. Definitely not. Track position is going to be the most important thing here. No one will go in, most likely. That would be one of the stupidest moves you could do, going into the pits right now. Talk about it though. This means that the whole grid gets closer together again and Luke gets another chance at possibly doing something smart with Avesta. Maybe working together to kick Legend off the P1 position.
And just while we have you, Kyle, surely Legend's tyres are going to be absolutely fine to the end of the race then?
Yes, I actually thought that before the, oh god, we're being with the penalty, drive-through penalty. No, yeah, the tyres of Legend will be fine throughout. They would have been fine from the first pit stop too, because people were driving 12 laps on the softs with decent amount of times. Tire drop-off is actually further back than we thought earlier. It is not 9 laps, it's around 11 to 12 laps. So yes, those tires will be fine. It will be a battle to the end, nonetheless.
Thank you, Kyle. We are on lap 30 out of 35 here in Formula Virtual Racing. It's hopefully going to be a scrap to the end. Julius has come in the stream chat saying he got some sort of blackout. I lost all my knowledge of... Apologies, I can't read that one due to there's some hard.
That's the track in autocorrect. That's
Oh, okay. Sorry, I couldn't read it because for some reason on the YouTube stream comments, there's just like this random heart that's covering the end of the message. But apologies. Speaking of heart, Hartle is out of the race and Gassner's round again. Ferrari are really not having a good time of things, and they will be hoping the Scotsman Lewis McWilliam is back in the car ASAP. But that's a conversation for post-race. The conversation now is that we have got Rosenberg under pressure in the late race phase, probably for the first time this season since his return, and it is by the man who finished second last week, Avesta Gobadi. Of course, Avesta did not have a great race in Brazil, but he did have a good race in Bahrain. He's currently sixth in the championship, got all his points in Bahrain, the 16 of them. That was for second place. And he's on course for another 16 here today. That'll bring him to a season total of 32, which would propel him up the order quite a bit. Your championship standings are on screen now, ladies and gentlemen. It is, of course, Rosenberg, Davison, Davies, Dulger, and Jack Redmond. Jack Redmond in 11th. He's going to pick up some points, maybe on a penalty count. He'll be hoping for a few more, but genuinely been a good race here as Julius Gassner has just been disqualified from the Canadian Grand Prix for receiving too many penalties. That's a penalty on the safety car. And Ferrari are now 19th and 20th here in Canada. A reminder, the last time we visited Canada, Thomas Main won this race for Ferrari.
Yeah. When you consider the circuit is named after one of those iconic Ferrari drivers, a certain Mr. Gilles Villeneuve. I think it is all this. It actually wouldn't be that bad because Ferrari in general have been not exactly the most competent in real life and sometimes in FVR.
Yeah, Ferrari, of course, are one-time Constructors champions, Juan Hernandez and Jake Marsh won the Constructors standings, apologies for them. They actually tied on points with Red Bull that season. That was the Season 6 season, which was just mental in all regards, but we will wait and see. Legend Rosenberg then has another restart to do. This one is slightly later on in the event, but he's got Avesta Gobani right behind him once again. Then it's Luke Davies, then Davison, then Philip Engel. Rosenberg's got to wait for the safety car to come into the pit lane, and then it is go, 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 potentially, and hopefully, till the end of this race. He's heading up to the chicane. He's got to wait till the last available time to go. Just holding and holding and holding, and out of the Quebec chicane, still holding. Didn't even go for it through there. And now we go racing once again here in Canada. It's a good restart from Rosenberg. It is also a good restart from Gobadi, though. He's kept with him in towards turn number 1 and 2, as has Luke Davies. Jack Redmond making a move on Wong Fee Anderson for 10th. Opportunism from the Irishman, and he's got the job done up past Wong Fee Anderson, heading in towards sector number 2. As we can see, Tyler Davison gets past Philip Engel, or defends from Philip Engel, I should say. Engel was threading the needle. 4/10 between Rosenberg and Gobadi. Remember, those soft tires will heat up quicker than the medium compound, so Rosenberg might initially be quick out of the blocks, but if Gobadi can keep with Legend until the back straight where he gets slipstream, and then in a couple of laps time he will get DRS as well, he will be very quick behind him. And look at this, he's got a big tank of ERS on board, has Avesta Gobadi, and he almost looked for the lunge in towards Lipingle, right close to Legend Rosenberg. He's actually got to tire up the inside. Rosenberg ran a little bit wide. The Ukrainian feels this is his best opportunity to dethrone the mighty Legend Rosenberg in towards the Quebec chicane and down the Casino Straight. Can Rosenberg try and keep it on the inside? Gobadi's got to try the long way around the outside. 2 by 2. They go! Rosenberg is into the wall of champions! This triple champion is falling down the order here in Gilles Villeneuve. Gobadi is in the race lead. Luke Davies second. Tyler Davison third. Gobadi, Legend Rosenberg is in fourth. This is chaos here in Montreal.
Yeah, Avesta was on the outside there. And you really have to be careful because the game will be... it won't be very forgiving of you if you do cut the exit part of the chicane rather than, let's say, the entry part, which Legend would have been closer to. You can cut that slightly, but it's the exit part which you can't touch at all. And when you have to account for that, you're probably going to get a bit of contact. But we'll have to see what the actual perspective was post-race.
Oh, look at Legend. Legend is hunting for this one. Big dive up the inside of Tyler Davison, and he's not really leaving him a lot of space. Legend is angry. Legend is furious, and both almost go into the wall and the casino straight. Rosenberg just nudging the wheel of Tyler Davison. He's now ahead, and Davison is going to sit behind for the time being. I think Tyler's real target in this one is Luke Davies. But no, Legend! 3-second time penalty, heading through the final chicane. The corner where it's gone wrong. Go Barty, fastest lap of the race. Legend Rosenberg up the inside of Luke Davies. Tyler Davison looking to capitalise on that one as well, but they head into the slower turn 3 and 4. I don't know why I keep saying it's the middle sector. It isn't. Kyle has something to say to us. Kyle.
Yes, definitely. The race got more exciting here, but yeah, just talking about someone else who we're not viewing that much, King Enzo. Enzo has gained 10 positions in a quite invisible race, done 4 pit stops, and got a drive-through penalty. And guess what? He's still in P7.
Yeah, great job by Enzo King as we are almost heading on to the final lap of the race. Tyler Davison is going to be hunting down. We'll wait and see, but Tyler and Luke have been in so many P3 scraps this season. It's obscene. Luke got P3 in Brazil. Tyler got P3 in Bahrain. This is the trilogy between the British pair. But last lap of the race, Avesta Gobadi's a 2.1 second lead in hand, and then Rosenberg is a 3 seconds as well. But of course, penalties can be removed post-race, so we got to take it at face value, really. But Legend has a lot of work to do if he wants to try and retake this race win. There could be a post-race penalty as well, so Luke and Tyler know that. If Avesta is deemed at fault for that incident with Legend, a win could be handed to Luke or Tyler, and we will have to wait and see. Adrian Tichy fighting for points here at a home Grand Prix. That's Leroy Van Schendel having a tank slapper. That's actually Macaulay Beard who's round in the background, it seems, for Alfa Romeo. Rosenberg not really closing down on Avesta Gobadi. Avesta has absolutely amazing pace. That's Leroy Van Schendel who spins as well in the middle sector. His new equipment, unfortunately, he's just not quite used to it yet, but Leroy will be back at his best next week. Luke is derating. The red light is flashing on the back of the McLaren, heading in towards the Lipingo hairpin. Davison, this is going to be the traditional Davison dummy up the inside, locks the brake. It's a block pass on the inside of the McLaren. Look who's introduced himself. Philip Engel gets the move on Davies. They're going to be side by side down the back straight, heading in towards the chicane. Is Engel able to pull it off? Davison has just cost Luke Davies a spot on the podium, but Engel is going to take it on debut P3 for Philip Engel. Avesta Gobadi wins the Canadian Grand Prix. His championship charge is alight, but Philip Engel scores P2 on debut here in Formula Virtual Racing. A Polishman stands on an FVR podium for the first time since Marcel Maugiera did in Monaco of Season 1. What a drive from Philip Engel. Davison takes third. Davies is dumped off the podium and down to fourth. Rosenberg is in fifth. This season is not over.
Well, that is a crazy ending. See, Davison, he went for that dive, but he probably went in a little too hard. Like, it worked, but it allowed the Aston Martin of Engel to just get through. Maybe if he had just been a little more easy on Luke Davies, Engel wouldn't have had the run or the space necessary to actually make a pass.
Well,
on Davison. Like, it could have been Davison, Engel, Davies finish order, but not. Now it's Engel who could potentially get a race win if circumstances fall his way.
What a race that would be if Avesta got a penalty and Philip Engel was handed the race win. But here's your podium. It is the Mercedes of Avesta Gobadi on top, and he will pick up 23 points for a race win and a fastest lap. Timton Hire says he's reporting Avesta, so this one not really over just yet, but it is Avesta who is your provisional winner. Here's your full race results then. It is Avesta Gobadi who is on top, and it is Philip Engel in second, Tyler Davison in third, followed by Luke Davies in fourth, and Legend Rosenberg in fifth. Enzo King from 17 to 6th, certainly a driver of the day, worthy performance maybe. There will be a poll on our Discord server for a driver of the day after the race, so make sure you do join it. for that. Nathan Marriott takes P8 ahead of Tim Denhar and Wonk V. Anderson. Jack Redmond just unfortunately misses out on the points in 11th, and then it is Adrian Tishy, who the home hero, unfortunately missing out on the points in 12th. Cam Dulger in 13th, and Morris Stumer. Then it is Malachi Beard. Macaulay Beard, I've said it again. It's Macaulay Beard.
Oh
in 15th.
my god.
Leroy Vinchendel in 16th, Liam Hausman in 17th, then there's Borbune, and then the two Ferraris, of course, did not finish the race. Hopefully, we can get some post-race interviews from people. We are actually going to hear from your race winner, Avesta Gobadi, now. Hello, Avesta. Can you hear us? Your mic is muted, in case you weren't aware. Hello, Avesta. Avesta, your mic is muted. Hopefully, we can hear from Avesta in a second. We will chuck him back out and bring him back in. Hello, Avesta. Can you hear us?
Hello, yeah.
Oh, there we are, working. Avesta Gobadi, you are an absolute monster today. Pole position, Canadian Grand Prix victory, stunning drive. Where did that pace come from?
Yeah. My heart is beating very fast at the moment. Well, I knew it was since the beginning of the season. I knew like some tracks were my strong ones, and some of them were my Achilles heel. But yeah, I knew Canada was always good for me, for race pace especially. I struggled a bit with the tires at the beginning. That's why Legend passed me, and I just wanted to stick to his DRS. And yeah, well, then yeah, just some unlucky moments with the safety car with Tim defending me very, very hard. But he's Legend's teammate, so obviously he would do that and turn into me and not leave enough space, but it's fine. But the race was pretty good. Yeah, the pace was good. I was really, really, really happy with the pace because I had a lot of downforce. Legend was really, really struggling. Like, he had a couple of moments in Sector 1, Sector 2. But yeah, then the safety cars, again, I went for the mediums at the end, and he went for soft, so I tried to pass him as soon as possible. But then when we were side by side in the last chicane, the Wall of Champions, I'm pretty sure I left him enough room because we were side by side anyway. That corner is very, very tight to be on the inside. And I braked very late, so I thought I left enough room. I think I did even. But we just collided because that corner, you can't go side by side. I just go for the move. Then you either have to back out or just commit to it. And yeah, pole position, very, very good lap. I lost quite a bit in the last chicane. I lost 1.5 tenths, so I could have extended the gap more. But yeah, really, really happy with the pace and finally win this season.
Yeah, you usually take a little bit to get going, but you've got to win fairly close off the blocks here. That's P2 and P1. We'll ignore Brazil. That's P2 and P1 in the last two races. Is season 11 finally Avesta Gobadi's season?
Well, there were many seasons which I had the chance, which I was also very close to Legend, Lewis, Luke, but it's still round 3. Anything can happen. Maybe Legend can win all the races. Maybe someone else can win the races. Maybe I'll lose some pace, but it looks promising because I know I have the pace right now, but I got to work even harder to be champion this season because every season has its own ups and downs. Every season has its own good drivers, bad drivers, lucky moments, unlucky moments. So I hope so. 11 is my lucky number. I was born on 11, so hopefully.
Kyle or Brendan, either of you got a question?
Well, my question's been answered. I was wondering about his qualification, if there was more in that lap, because we were debating, obviously, Legends laps. Did you know he was trying for track evolution, or do you think it was something else at the start?
Yeah, because he pulled into the pit lane. He was up on his time
Yeah.
and then pulled into the pit lane. Did the track evolve, or what was the case there?
Well, what I felt was the track at the beginning was a lot faster, a lot better. I don't know how. The track evolution, I did feel it, especially in Sector 1, but there was so many marbles. Like, it's atrocious in Sector 2 if you're a little bit off the line. That's why I invalidated my second lap, I think. Yeah, because there was so many marbles, no grip, but eventually, yeah, I felt tires felt a bit better with the temperature, and I also changed a bit of tire pressure, so that also helped. But yeah, I did have a little bit left in the lap. In that lap, a 0.1, 0.2 could be possible, but it's still pole. I can't be bragging about it.
Avesta, we had Lewis, we had Ridwan, and we had many more in the chat cheering you on. You are a fan favourite. Brendan, do you have a question?
Yeah. So when that was it the safety car, well, the first late safety car came out, and you switched from the hards to mediums. You saw obviously Luke and Tyler behind you went the same way as you did, but Legend went with the softs. Were you one? Did that surprise you? And two, were you then surprised that you were able to keep up with Legend, like in the first lap or two after, because of even with the compound difference?
Well, the first question, yeah, I was a bit surprised because it was, I think, 9 laps with the safety car left, and he had used softs, and everyone else has used softs from qualifying. And I did a little bit of race practice, and I did feel that softs after 3-4 laps, they were really, really on the loosey-goosey side, to be honest. So, and I had a lot of downforce, so I was confident with my mediums. They would go off to temperature really fast and work fast. And I also wasted a lot of battery to stay in the first 2 laps with him. But then another safety car came out when I was furious because I thought there were only 2-3 laps left and the softs probably could have been faster. But then I saw Legend struggle a lot. I think it was his setup or just lack of practice. But yeah, I'm really happy though. And I'm happy with my choices with strategy.
Avesta, it's your best ever start to an FVR season. You're becoming a bit of a fan favourite, and we very much appreciate you joining us here for the post-race interview. We're going to let you go enjoy that one and enjoy your Saturday. And yeah, once again, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, we've had no one else join the waiting room channel, so it will just be Avesta for this evening, but we have had a spectacle here in Montreal, and there is plenty more to look forward to. Remember, you can check out all our social channels for post-race updates in regarding to stewards, in regarding to just some fun social media posts. We posted our FVR Spotify Wrapped last week, so make sure you go check out me having a dig at everyone through song form. But yes, Brendan and Kyle, thank you very much for joining me this evening. It was a very fun race.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed this one just as much as you did. Yeah, really no words other than congratulations to Avesta, who's made an amazing race and possibly begin to pave his path towards the championship.
Yeah, I'd say I'm very happy to be back here. I should be here for next week and the week after. So, yeah, it's good to get back into FVR. It's a very nice race to return to as well. Very enjoyable.
Maybe Brendan is our lucky charm here. Maybe Brendan brings the good races. While I still have you here, folks, if you have more feedback on Formula Virtual Racing, we have released our official global survey. The link, I'm just pasting it into the stream chat now. There you go, there's the link. If you have any feedback in regards to the racing, in regards to the drivers, in regards to the live stream experience, in regards to our social media content, you can put anything in there. All feedback, positive or negative, is greatly appreciated by myself here running the series and the broadcast, etc., etc. So thank you very much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back next week where we do head to the Australian Grand Prix. We will have more stunning action for you, and we'll have more highlights and stuff posted throughout the week. So stay safe, stay well, ladies and gentlemen, and we will see you in Albert Park Down Under. Good day, and bye-bye. This program is brought to you by Simulus Clothing, official title sponsors of Formula Virtual Racing. But wait, there's more. Check out the official Formula Virtual Racing merchandise line out now exclusively to Simulus Clothing. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the program.